Welcome back to Not Alone. Today is a very special day, and I have a guest that is pure love. For the month of February, with Valentine's around the corner, I wanted the theme to be love. And then I thought, well, who would I have as a special guest? And this person here is all love. If you've met her, she is my mother, Suzie St. Cyr. She is such a light. Everyone who walks into a room next to her, they say, wow, she's so much joy, all love, unconditional love. And I have been blessed to call her my mother. And she has walked by my side unconditionally, being the safe person, also my best friend. And she has been so rooted in her faith and guidance for me, and who created who I am, that foundation who I am today. So I'm honored to share who she is because she has a voice, she has a lot to share, and I always love our deep conversations together. So today, I welcome my mother, Suzie.
Oh. Thank you so much, Melissa, for having me on your podcast.
Yes.
And thank you for the wonderful introduction.
Yes.
It's touched my heart.
Well, it's all
you
true.
always do.
And she's also my biggest fan.
I am a big fan. I listen to her and watch her on the big screen.
All the time. And then it's good because she'll give
time.
me some good feedback.
Yes.
But most of all, how you've been such a foundation in where I'm at, because it wasn't easy to see me go through grief and the kids, but how you were such that safe place, and how you live with us now,
Yes,
since we've been 3 years in Arizona. We have a beautiful detached casita at our home where she's right there and can be so hands-on with me, my kids, and going through all these roller coaster of emotions. But you know what? She's always so grounded in her love.
Yes.
And stillness and peace. And I think that's really helped us along the way when we were navigating this grief. So I just honor you and your strength and your love. I'd love for people to get to know you because, they see this sweet grandma, this loving grandma. And by the way, she's like the best chef in the world. She does excellent French cooking, the best French onion soups, the best steaks. She's a fantastic, that's her love. But also she has so many gifts, from owning her own resorts, retreats, bed and breakfast. And I know that's one of her dreams, to continue owning a retreat center, because that's her gift, is hospitality and making people feel love. But tell people where you're from, your background.
Yes. First of all, Melissa, I would like to say something to you. I would like to say to the world and to everyone how much deeply grateful and incredibly proud of you, of your stand up. You stand up strong and you show up every day. Despaired, your tragedy, and watching you, raising your kid, with perseverance and also courage, that really, really inspire me. And my heart is I have admiration for you. Your strength inspire me, your friends, your kids, and the whole world. The way your strength and your determination, perseverance, it's a grace, in the hardship, just see you, how you live. So I really want to tell you how much I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you, Mom. That means a lot. And
yes.
But you know where I got my strength from? Do you know?
God?
Well, God, yeah, for sure. God, yes, God, absolutely. But
yes.
God is in you, and you gave me that strength. When I decided, I'm going to move 4 months after I lost my husband to Arizona, where I knew absolutely nobody. It was just a God wink, intuition. I followed this intuition. Arizona was on the map. Everybody asked, how, you don't know anybody there,
Yeah.
why Arizona? But it was just a calling, and I just dove right in. Well, you know what I kept on telling myself? Well, my mom, when I was 6 years old, 6 years old, we lived in Quebec City, Canada. We spoke only French.
Only French.
And my mom, for me and for her well-being, she says, I'm going to move to Vancouver, British Columbia for a fresh start, a new environment, a safe environment. And she knew not one word of English. She, she just went for it as well. She just knew that's what the steps she needed to do. So here we go, move just the two of us to Vancouver, British Columbia. These two little French Canadian ladies. And it was not easy.
It was not. It was not easy, but I was determined. I want you to have a good life. Not that you didn't have a good life in Quebec, but for me, it was a little bit narrow. So I always struggle. In Quebec, I was managing, restaurant and hotel and things like that. I was pretty young too. And people coming from Toronto and everywhere and speaking English. And also in the family, we always travel in the U.S. because we have family in New York. And there's that businessman coming to the restaurant and the lounge and asking me questions. And I know he was kind of interested in me. And I want to answer. And I said to my friend, what he said? And I said, that's it. That make me a shift. I said, I don't want to ask people what he said. I want to answer myself. And I said, yes, we have to learn English, and I want you to learn English to open to the world, to be able to speak two languages that open doors for you.
Yeah, it's such a gift to be bilingual. It opens up such a whole different world out there. I think it is important for people to learn a second language. And the opportunities, since we moved to Vancouver, I think of all the opportunities that I had because of that big move. So just knowing that, I was like, okay, my mom did that, and we didn't even know that language. So I kept on telling my kids, well, hey, at least we're moving somewhere where you still speak English. And I was like, well, my mom did it. So that gave me that strength going. And you know what else? I said, my mom did it, and look how I turned out. Because, of course, I was, how is this going to affect my kids? This is a lot of change, again, for them. And I said, no, God is calling me there. There's a reason why I'm guided to come here. I have to trust that. My kids will be, look how I turned out because we moved, and you followed your intuition to move as well.
Yes.
And it wasn't easy. Like you said, we lived in a government housing, and you worked, I don't know how many jobs, and you went to business school at the same time.
Business school, yes, because I really want to have my education, and I want you to have an education too. So I find a solution. I was managing the building where I live, so my rent was low. I was doing some volunteer at your
Yeah, because you put me in a nice private school. It was a French private school.
Because that was my plan right at the beginning when you're born. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I want her to speak other languages. I want her to be, in private school. For me, it was like kind of safe place for me, because it have more structure and, so that's that was my goal.
But you didn't put that a barrier where you're like, we don't have the money to pay for it. You found ways.
I found a way, and I said I'm going to do some voluntary at the school. So which I was doing that with cut the price a little bit, and working also in hospitality. Sometimes I could work a couple of nights there, raise a little bit more money. So I find the way to go through that time. It was not easy, but by making action, I think you can go to what you want to go. you know. So that's my perseverance, and that you got that too, and I got that from my father, my mother, very perseverant, very determined. You know, they find solution. You know,
the hard workers.
Hard worker. Oh, my mom was a very hard worker. She had a daycare. You know, sometimes we were like 12 kids in the house, and I said, okay, I need to help her. You know, I was the helper. You know, I love to help. You know,
to help,
and to see you in that situation, I always, first of all, when you're born, I had a pact with God. I said, I will cherish and take care of that beautiful, precious daughter for the rest of my life. That was my promise to God, you know. And I said, whatever, I'll always say, because we were alone, you know, I raised Melissa as a single mother. And we have to be to each other, you know. I always know where you were. You always knew where I was. So we have to work as a team.
Yes.
So right now, that's almost the same thing, you know.
We work as a team.
You know, we work as a team. You know, you out, okay, I'm here. You know, I'm out, you there, you know. So we work as a team. And I try to explain that to my grandkid, my granddaughter. We have to know where you are. Not because we want to control you. It's because we a team. We together. And if something, I need your help, I need to reach out to you, you know, and you need help, you can come to us, you know.
Yeah,
so
which is important for them
that's
to
good
know
value.
that. Yeah, good values that you instill so much in my kids. And it's so good that you kind of ground them and remind them the value of family. And that's one thing that I miss so much when we moved to Vancouver.
Yes.
I'm the culture that was in Quebec, well, in our family especially, you know, we're so rooted in the faith and family values and a team and love and helping each other. I really felt that and missed that a lot. So it was fun to...
I missed that too when I was in Vancouver. But our family was like more friends, and you know, I work in an environment, ski resort and things like that. So we were doing a lot of activity, but we still
which was fun because then in Vancouver I grew up with a lot of the outdoors, which I love, very active, and my mom was always up for, you know, rollerblading and we would go hiking, and you know, back then too, I was maybe 12 or something. She'd take me on the Chief. I remember this Chief 6-hour hike, and when I remember complaining.
You were 8 years old.
Oh, 8. Okay, 8 years old. And this is probably why I love hiking now. But I remember my mom's like, I could play the whole time. But once I got to the top, I saw how gorgeous that was. And still a big passion of mine now is to hike. So you instilled, you know, I feel, you know, my background in Quebec is the grounded in the culture, the family, the roots. And then Vancouver really instilled the nature, the outdoors, being active. And so, and learning about so many different cultures. I remember growing up in my school, and Caucasian was a minority. So we had a lot of different cultures, a lot of different, and well, I went to Catholic school, but we had different backgrounds. And it was, so it opened my eyes to so many different cultures. Was great. I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, and there was no limitation, even though we were living in government housing. I was going to private school where parents are coming with their Porsche and all this stuff. But the nice thing with the uniform, you couldn't tell the difference. No. So that really didn't matter. I didn't feel out of place there, you know.
And especially the school was 5-minute walk, you know.
Which was really nice.
That was very nice.
And
safe.
And safe, And then once you learn kind of English and you kind of grew in Vancouver, you created a lot of beautiful retreats. Like you had your bed and breakfast at Saginaw Lake.
Yes, Saginaw Lake. First, we, in that time I was married, and we invest in the land in Costa Rica. And in that time, I was working as a conference manager at the executive end, and we had that land on Saginaw Lake. And what happened? We lost the land in Costa Rica, and I was working in hospitality. I knew how to run a hotel and things like that. I said, "That's it, you know. okay, we lost that. We're not gonna cry and say, okay, maybe we lost like some money, but we still have that. We can create what we want to do there. So that's what we did. We start with the small building, decks, and we create. We have so much. I have so much imagination. And we make it a beautiful retreat and resort. Like the people can come by float plane, could come by boat, and it was water access.
Yeah, it was the most beautiful place.
It was beautiful,
yeah, Sakanala,
magical,
it is,
and very healing.
And you host weddings there? You used to do weddings, a lot of different events.
Weddings, our birthday party. I was doing private dinner too. We have 300 cabins on the lake, so people will come and say, we have family coming, so we like you to make a dinner. So I will make dinner for 20 people.
Yeah, because when you cook, it's all love. So
Oh,
much
with love.
It's so funny
The
because
kitchen is messy.
Okay, there's a lot of butter, a ton of butter. I think we go through like packs of butter. The groceries, I think I buy 10 a week. I don't know. But then I look at my mom, I'm like, well, she's so tiny. Obviously this kind of butter, it must be all the love she pours into it, so we don't hold on to that butter.
But it tastes good.
It tastes really good. A lot of flavor, and that people feel that in the way you cook and host and come in. And I felt with Sakanal Lake, the retreat there, that's what you could feel that when we walked in there, and every guest really did. And then once you guys sold that and moved to Kelowna, then you had your bed and breakfast and retreat there too.
First, we went travel for almost here. We went to Quebec for 2 months because I didn't see my family for a long time because I was so busy, and you came and everything. And that was my dream, because we used to go camping, in the late 80s. We used to go camping in Kelowna, and I loved the warm and, the lake, and it was peaceful. Mm-hmm. And I said, I think one place I want to live now, it's in Kelowna. So we went there, we sold our furniture, we just kept, things belonging in storage. And we said, we're going to look for a place, and we're going to fit it. First we rent, and we were not working, really. So I said, we're still young, we cannot retire, just like that. And I said, I have to be active. So I said, well, okay, let's look for a house. And maybe I'm going to do the same. I did it once, I can do it a second time and have more energy. So I decided we're looking for a house, and it was a beautiful house. Was more looking for the view and, the surrounding and everything. So we found a house which we have to renovate. But I saw the vision. I saw what I can do with it, the potential. So I want a house with a pool, but there was no pool, but there was a land. I want the fruit trees, and I knew what I want, mm-hmm. And so that's what I found, and we decided to build a pool, and we have rooms and everything, and I opened at Le Chateau du Lac.
Yeah, I love the name. I love
it. Was a beautiful place, surrounding with maybe 12 wineries. So people love it.
It was beautiful, and I think that's your gift. It's like, because now you are a realtor,
I am a realtor.
In Arizona, and a lot of times you help people from Canada if they want to looking places for here or working. You're able to work alongside with other realtors as a reference as well for somebody that's looking to have maybe a vacation home here and come snowbirds, up in Arizona. Mm. But your gift is, you can look at a house and see, okay, this is not my ideal, but you're so good and visual and seeing, well, this is what you can do.
Yes.
This is what you can change. So don't let it be that barrier. It's not exactly the house you want, but you're able to help people visualize
and make it like their own, and, feel their soul in that house. Mm-hmm. And first I will really connect with them, and be very authentic and transparent. To be transparent with a realtor, you can feel what you really want, what your family want, that will fill up your heart and dreams. And there is a way to do things, sometimes, okay, we need money, we need this. But there's a way, you know, and a plan that you can do to have what you want.
So you kind of
know?
help release these fears, these
Release
blocks,
the
this
fear,
barrier. Yeah.
and that you can do it. We can do it. Just, you know, like we have to have a strategy, you know, say. So that's the way I think you can get what you want,
Yes.
you know.
Which I think that's so important, because I think there's a lot of, when people are either selling their home or they're looking for homes, there's fear plays a role in so much in what they're looking for, or maybe losing the house they really wanted. And so I think having you to keep checking in on them and grounded in what their
Grounded,
dream
yeah.
is so important when it comes to a realtor. And that's what makes you so different. And because you release that fear and you say you have to really feel it when you walk
Yes.
into the house.
Feel it and let go too. People want to sell their house. Sometimes there's so much emotion in the house. And I understand that, you know, because I've been there, you know, like leaving Sakina. But when I made my decision, I let it go. And I said, for something new, a new season. That's exciting, a new season, you know, in your life. Because in a life, there's season. And there's spring, summer, fall, winter, you know.
Because there's so much attachment to that home, right? Especially if people were there and raised their kids, and there's the memories that it holds there. So letting go of all that, sometimes it's like, but the memories will always be there.
The memory always in your heart, in your soul.
Yeah.
So
it's not in the physical house, you know, it's in your soul. So I think that's so, and people love you because you're so intentional. I mean, I think so she's been helping my friend look for a house, and she'll have, just in case they find the house they love, she has a cooler with champagne ready and water.
I have water when it's 110, you know, outside, you know, to make sure, because if we're visiting like 10 houses, you know, of course you're going to be thirsty or hungry. So I make sure, you know, they're going to have that. So because we're going to be busy looking for a house, and a pad and a pen, you know, to take notes. Make sure you take note and take picture, because you don't remember, what house I visit, did I have a bath there? You know, so it's just a reminder for them, you know, tools to,
well, that's the thing. Since you are all love, you bring in love into the process of,
I love it.
You know, seeing home. And you're so passionate. You love looking at different homes. And
I get so excited.
We can do that.
I get excited. It's like me buying the home, you know, because I say, this is so much potential in that house, you know, so.
And that's why I think you're so unique. Yeah, it's your passion, and you love it, and it's where you need to be, you know. And I know you've always talked about a dream about opening up another boutique hotel, and that dream will happen.
It will happen. It's happening, because I'm putting seed everywhere, you know. Those little seed, it takes time, you know, to grow. So that's what I'm doing right now, you know. What you do behind the scene, sometimes people don't see it.
You don't see it, yeah.
But I know, you know, and you know me. Like, people say, you're going to retire. And I say, let's see.
You're just too creative.
Yeah, I love create. I have a big imagination. And, you know, that's what life is about, you know. And I love to leave a legacy, you know. My legacy is really about love, forgiveness, value, family, you know, and acceptance. You know, you have to accept, you know, people, human being, what they went through, you know. Even you have somebody on the street, you know, that you see they're on the street. The judgment, you know, I see more when I look at them, I see them like a little baby. And I say, what happened? What happened at that little angel, you know, that it's there? We know, like tragedy, sometimes you can go this way or this way. So you took this way, and I'm so thankful, you know, thankful that you choose that.
And what's your thought as to how can people, you know, keep choosing that direction in instead of taking the other corner? You know, what do you feel?
I think, first of all, to believe, faith. Faith will change your direction, because when you have faith, God will show you the way. He will show you the way. You say, try with little thing. Sometimes I say to friends, try with this. Ask. If you don't ask, you don't have. Like, if I have something difficult, of course, that was hard, to see you so in pain. So it was painful to see the kid, it was like the wave going, like a tsunami, like sometimes that will come, and I say, wow, I was praying, and I say, just to help them to have like a calm, peace. So, because it's the tragedy. But what I would say is help, like people to help those people to see by your action. If you live by your action, with love and everything, people around you see you, how you live, and they want that.
Yes, yeah.
By example.
By example, yeah. I mean, for you too, you've been such a great example to lead with love, no matter what circumstances, and always just love. Like, for example, when we teach our kids, if they're having conflict, it's always don't go with revenge, right? You just gotta just send them love and pray for them, and forgiveness, which you've had to do a lot of that yourself,
A lot of forgiveness, because things happen, people hurt you, people who are hurt people, so what, to me, to be in peace and release, resentment, it's to forgive. There's no other way. No other way to forgive. And forgive with your heart, not, really with your heart.
And forgive yourself.
And
too,
forgive myself, not feel guilty, because, of course, like I was 21 years old, when I become a mother. And that was the biggest gift of my life. You are the biggest gift of my life. And also with the grandkid too, so they are a gift. So that's the way.
That's the way. Did you always feel so different when you were young? Because you grew up, you had, you guys were 5, right?
Yeah, 4.
4, sorry. Yeah. 4. And so did you always feel kind of different or see life differently?
Oh, I see. When I was young, I was like very bubble, I was excited for life, and I see the world very wide. I said, I want to travel, I want to do this, I want to do that. And as a kid, I was not a revenge person. It's like I knew, even when I was young, I was a giver. I love to give, Sometimes I would not understand why people fight. I said, why? Where's love? I don't know. I was like feeling a little bit stressed when people fight. My soul is kind of shaky. So I have a hard time to be around, fight. And so, like when I was young, it's just sometimes I knew I was going on my pillow and I have hope. I said, I can do this, I can do that. Now I don't know. Even I have a hard time sometimes when I was in my teen, to see around me and things happening. And I want to learn, where is love? Where is love? But that was love still, but very passionate.
Yes,
Love.
But do you find love, oftentimes love is there when you build it within and you self-love and your self-worth, then you kind of attract that mirror. Once you have that self-love.
Yes, yeah, self-esteem,
self-esteem, self-love, Yeah,
I think when I was young, I was not completely self-esteem. My self-esteem was maybe, I don't know if I can do this, I can do that. Even I have a lot of big dream and everything. But I think with resilience and determination, say, I can do that, you know.
Yes.
So you always have fear, especially we came in Quebec, but I was born in Quebec. My dad is from the Caribbean, my mother French Canadian. We were the first almost black family in the community. So of course it was like some bully and everything. So I saw my sister, my brother coming back from school crying, because, we were different. And I was thinking of myself, when I go to school and I want to make it different, I made the decision to not be a victim of that and use it, because sometimes they will say names to me. And I said, really? I think I was white, for me and my team, it like make me like different, and I use it as a positive.
Yeah, I like that.
And I love it, and I will not take that away. Okay, in that time, that was hard to see your sister, your brother, even me. I know I've been bullied, but I said I didn't want to be a victim.
Yeah.
So that's for sure. Yeah. So
you didn't let it attach to you. Just kind of like deflected it. You're like, okay,
okay,
I am different, but I love it, and
I love it,
yes,
and that made me do things in my team. They will pick me because I was in minority. So like I was doing fashion show and things like that because I was in minority. So that was positive for me.
Because you shifted your narrative.
I shifted.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be the victim. I don't want to be the victim.
I like that.
So
I
have to be strong. It's like fighting, because people, and it's just like they don't know better. If they know better, they do better.
Of course, yeah.
So, but they didn't know better. They were kids, and it was like a strong community, the French people and everything. And in that time, in the 60s, in the 60s, there was not a lot of open door for us, But my dad was very determined, and that didn't break him. That didn't break him. He still continued to do what he wants to do, And he's still doing it now, today.
I know. Your dad's, what, 97?
97.
And your dad, you're always like, I've been trying to call my dad, and he's so busy. He's out and about.
He's more
dancing.
busy than me. He's dancing. And yesterday, finally, I reached out to him, and he was under the thing. I said, what are you doing? I thought it was a little boy, a young man walking.
He's
but
still
that
doing
was
repairs
my
in his own apartment.
Was doing repair.
He dances, the tango, salsa?
Salsa, all the Latin dance.
At least 3 times a week, right?
Oh, minimum.
And he goes to see shows, and he's
times.
very much always, your sister's there in the community, so always making sure go family dinners and...
family dinner is very important. My mom used to do a Sunday night. That was family dinner to who want to come. Yes. So that was the routine. And,
I know.
Very tradition to Christmas, Easter.
It's always so big. That's why we've gone to Christmas we didn't go this Christmas, but for 2 years we did. And to show that to my kids, they had never been to Quebec City for Christmas, and to see how many family and their cousins and everyone French, and we're staying up way too late, and we dance and we have fun.
We speak loud.
Yeah, we speak loud, and we're like, are they fighting? No, we're not fighting. We're just
not fighting. We communicate.
And it's just fun. To my aunt, there's lots of snow, and she's like, oh, before Christmas Day, and she's hosting, and she decides to create this great big sledding hill in her backyard, and she has a black eye trying and go down, and I mean, she's got full of energy and full of love too, and that's our family. And I love sitting down with your dad, Guy, and asking him, okay, because his vitality, for me, I want that vitality. I mean, your wisdom. Vitality. People look at you. Sometimes you have more energy than I do, I
learned from him.
From him. And just the way he's so proud. He's always, dressed up and the way he eats slowly. And he says, well, he does his morning prayer and forgiveness, and just really rooted in his foundation, his values, families, faith, his health, though, too. I mean, he's always been active. I think, his thoughts, mindful of his thoughts, thinking more positively and more just never limited. I mean, being the almost only interracial family in Quebec City. He was moved 24 from Haiti.
He was 23.
23. And married a French-Canadian woman. But he was still so in the community and never let it stop him. And he's written some books as well. And it's just a very interesting life. But if you look back at his family heritage, I mean, his dad was a dentist in Haiti, actually, too.
His dad was a dentist. And his mother was a pianist and also a nurse.
But they moved to New York. In New York. And she's lived in France as well. And she was very strong, a long line of strong women.
A very long line of a strong woman. Definitely. My two grandma, very strong. And I remember my grandmother in New York, she opened a house for women, who need help.
That were abused, right?
They were abused, and she was a teacher, a nurse, and very, very educated. Very educated for her. That was important.
Yeah, so they didn't use that as a limitation. Even though they were, born in a very poor country and whatnot, they saw no limits for them for their growth and what they wanted. And I think that's helpful for us for our legacy as well. And so that's that's why I'm so proud of our family. And a lot of it is I'd love to people to get to know who you are because behind the scene of all of this that's the support that I have. There's no way I would have been able to finish 2 books now, have the podcast, work, and do with the kids. It needed partnership and help, and having you in our home and that foundation, instilling those our core values with our kids. Those are planting those seeds that for their legacies too, and you've been such a foundation for that. And I'm so grateful because that's why I want to give you voice, because hearing you, it's always about love. You never say anything mean about anybody else. You always change your perspective.
Yes. I teach to act with love. If you act with love, you will receive love. Even if you don't, still act with love, and it will shift. It will shift. Yeah. Definitely. And forgiveness, kindness. It's easy. You're on the street, you see a older person, just a smile. That's an act of love. It's kindness,
because you never know what they're going through. Yeah, love is everything.
It's everything, and just also take care of our environment. Trees, and it's all love too. It's all God.
Yes, it's all creative of God.
Creative of God.
So being respectful of of what we have. And so I love, for you, your routine to be so grounded in love. What do you do for you? So for me, to stay grounded like that? And
I pray a lot. I get up in the morning. The first thing that I will do, get a shower, get ready, and look in the mirror. I look at myself in the mirror and I pray. I light candles most of the time, and I keep it just with harmony, because harmony is what you're surrounding, and that keep you grounded, And if, let's say, you feel off, sometimes you get out and say, I feel a little bit nervous or off. I say, I know I forgot something. I back up, and I say, I have to be grateful, because that's it. That's the secret. That's the recipe of happiness, to be grateful. Thank you. You can see. Thank you for your skin. I'm in the shower. I say, thank you for the hot water. Because many, many people don't have hot water. They don't have a clear water to wash. So this is I'm so grateful for that. To have that eyes to see my beautiful daughter, to see you navigate that beautiful life.
Yes.
And it's a gift. hear the bird,
Oh, I know.
hear the
listening
leaf.
to
Like I
birds.
love just to go for a walk and just the leaf. I said, it's just so, for me, that make me grounded. That made me so in peace. I said, be so grateful.
Yeah, just pause and be
Just
grateful for
pause.
all. That's why even when I walk the kids to school, that was one of the things I asked when I move. I said, I want to be able to walk everywhere. And I do. I
Yes,
walk
you do.
everywhere. And so when I walked them to school, there's this one tree that we always pass and we hear this beautiful bird. So me and my kids just stop. I'm like, oh, look, listen. And then you see the sun rising and all that. And I make them pause and notice these things because look how, and they kind of get annoyed with me because I'm all like, oh my gosh, it's another beautiful day. Because in Arizona, it's sunny every day.
Which I love.
Hey,
Thank you
lived
for
16
moving
years in Alaska,
Arizona.
so I am so
love
grateful.
it.
So grateful for the warmth and sun every day because even growing up in Vancouver, I remember sometime 30 days of rain nonstop, and is that
That
great?
was very hard for me.
And that's why actually I started working, I remember at 14 at Grouse Mountain,
Yes.
and what I loved about working there, you would get above the clouds and you see the sun.
I love walking there too. I worked there
and be out in nature and being out in the fresh air. And that was so important. So I've realized when you are living in those places and you're not seeing how important it is to just really find ways to bring in more light or find ways to really when you feel depleted or maybe taking trips. I mean, I noticed when we would go away and go trips where sunny destination, we would filled back up our immune system and everything. So I've realized that if you're feeling kind of stuck and you're like, okay, these winters are getting long, trust me, the best move I ever did was move here. And people are like, how do you handle the heat? I'm like, well, it's easy drive. Yeah.
What heat?
Well, the 110 and above, that's a little much. But the good thing, we can drive out of the heat, and we drive to California. We drive even to Flagstaff. So, and it's beautiful here. So I'd really encourage anyone if they're feeling like, okay, this is a little much for me. So now I'd rather do the opposite. Okay, when I miss the snow and the skiing, like next week, we're flying out to go find the snow, and I come back in the sun, and how important that is for us. And for my family and for my own healing, when I was feeling so depleted, the sun played a major role in all that. And rooted in my faith and just your help and also your belief in me. You always plant these little seed in you
big.
all the time, and like, okay, I'm not doing this for nothing. And you're like, oh, this is so good. And I love that you watch almost all my episodes because I have a hard time watching them. But you give me little pointers, which is good. And I need to release that fear of watching because I feel I can learn so much by watching. And if I'm saying too much, these words that make no sense. And so I have to be mindful. And it's also allowing me to become a better communicator because, as we know, communication is so important, right? Very important. In the way we use our words, the power words hold. And that's why I love for you, your words are always singing with love. And how we have to be really pausing. And even me doing these podcasts now, what am I sharing out there? Is it going to create fear or is it going to create love? And so I'm really trying to be mindful of the words that I'm using and what I'm sharing because
what the intention intention that people want to receive, but what you share is so amazing. Like the people, you're not a doctor, but I say I would go to you because I believe why your knowledge. Because you get knowledge from everywhere.
Oh,
lots of doctors, lots of dentists, lots of businessmen, women, not just men and women. And I think it's like the school
of life. Because I'm so curious about life. I'm so curious to I want people to live with vitality and love. And so that's why every guest is so intentional. And that's why today you're here. So I'd love for people, if they I wanted to reach out to you, and they're like, okay, I'm ready for more sunshine. I'm coming to Arizona.
I love to have a people.
Yeah.
Lots of Canadians come here, own a piece of property or investment property.
Yes, but right now it's growing so much here.
Open a vacation rental. I'm here.
Yes, property management. You'd be the best, because I remember you had your own cleaning team. So anyone to manage. You have a vacation rental and you're kind of having a hard time finding people manage it. You put in so much heart into that. So we'll put in the footnotes all your information, how they can get hold of you, because I think you are so neat out there and you are so different than a lot of the realtors out there, because it's a saturated, there's just a lot. So people get confused of who to pick. And like even for me, when I moved here, I was like, I don't know. But you pour in love and
intention. My intention, it's about love and what they want. Fill up their soul. What the family
and you
want.
Understand the grieving period that happens when you let go of a place, or the anxiety or the fear, because you've been through it. You've been through it.
And it's a lot of fear and what if and what. But if you don't do it, you're going to say, okay, I never did it. So, but if you do
or you might lose the house that you really wanted,
yes,
right?
That's correct.
Yeah, you might lose it. So you need somebody to help you stay grounded, feel almost like you're holding their hand with love, like and light. And you're like, it's going to be okay.
That will be okay.
And you're going to figure out what's next. If you believe, you got to believe too, right?
Yeah, you have to believe, that you can do it, and do step by step, one day at a time. Yes. It doesn't have to be just everything in one day, because it takes time,
Yes. To be patient and
be patient to find, the right house. Sometimes you can get it right now, or maybe it will be in 6 months or 2 months. It will come up. It will come up for you because it's there for you.
It's there. Yeah. Start visualizing.
Visualize what you want. Even you visualize, you take a picture of your house and you want what people that you want in your house. You wrote a letter to them, to the buyer. I want a buyer with a family. They feel loved. They feel, that that's their dream house and they're going to stay there. They feel it, So
I think I love that you're doing that with your clients, is writing it out, because words hold power. So the more you speak it, and when I write it, I almost manifest things. And that's why writing books are just so healing for me. And when I write in my journal, these I am, or in what I want to manifest, if I say it and I write it, it comes true.
It's there.
Yeah, it's there.
It's like my friends are having a restaurant for sale right now in Canada. And I said, take a picture. Even I took a picture of a restaurant and I put soul.
Yes.
So
what's the name of the restaurant again?
Convivia Bistro.
Convivia in Osoyoos, Kelowna. If anyone's looking to buy a restaurant.
It's 5 minutes from the border.
It's beautiful.
And it's beautiful. And I took a picture, I put soul and one in French, vendu,
yes.
so that she can visualize.
Because, they would like to retire. I mean, they built something so beautiful there. I love that restaurant. But now it's time for them to just enjoy life and travel. And so they will find the perfect buyer, and it's such a special place. Well, thank you so much, Mama. I love you. And
you so
I'm sure we'll have
Melissa.
My mom back again. And if you're, please subscribe and like, because this is how I can plant seeds globally of light and love. So please subscribe, share this episode if this truly resonates with you, and if you want more love into your life, or you're looking for a house in Arizona, please reach out to my mom, Suzie St. Cyr. I'll put it all in the show notes underneath, her information, and God bless.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Mom.